Yay. Okay, welcome all to the April 23rd meeting of council. We apologize for the delay. We had a work session dealing with the budget immediately prior to the meeting. I would ask tonight, we're going to have the invocation, and I'm going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. But before I do that, we had the unexpected loss of a city employee today. Michelle Thompson, who worked in our library for 10 years or more. And I'd like to have just a moment of silence for her family, and then I'll lead us in prayer. Thanks. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and for the many blessings we have received in our city. Tonight, Lord, we are deeply saddened by the loss of Michelle Thompson, who served our city and its citizens for many years. We ask for your presence, that it be felt by her family in this time of need. As always, we remember and pray for those who protect our country in military service and our public safety personnel who protect us here at home. Guide them and protect their families as they protect us. Finally, we ask for your continued guidance for us here this evening as we deliberate the issues of our city. Keep us mindful of the people that we serve. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you all for that. We have a special presentation this evening, and I'll ask that the members of the Ferreira family join me at this podium here. It's okay. If you'd like to come up and receive it for her, I'll walk over and thank her. Let me say this evening that Poquoson lost a friend and servant to our city and to all its citizens in Carl Ferreira in a few months back, or really it hadn't been that long, a month or so. And the city would like to recognize his contributions. In doing so, the council adopted a resolution in his honor. I'll read that briefly, and then a copy for the family is here. Whereas Carl Ferreira, a Poquoson resident and member of the Economic Development Authority since its inception in 1999, passed away on January 18, 2012. And whereas Carl Ferreira was an active community leader, having been a member of the Poquoson Kiwanis and past Commodore of the Poquoson Yacht Club. Whereas during his retirement, Carl Ferreira became active in the Community Share program, coordinating food for the needy, and was appointed by the director of the Virginia Peninsula Workforce Investment Board, which consists of a consortium of peninsula jurisdictions for the purpose of providing training and development of job skills for the eventual employment of young, disabled, displaced, or unemployed people in the local job market. And whereas Carl Ferreira will be remembered for his willingness and desire, as well as his dedication to serving the city of Poquoson and its citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Poquoson that the death of Carl Ferreira is a distinct loss to the city of Poquoson, and City Council does hereby express its deepest sympathies and condolences to his family, that his commitment and dedication to serving others is recognized by the members of the Poquoson City Council and by the citizens of Poquoson. And Section 3, that this resolution become effective immediately. And again, to his family, a framed resolution for you, but thank you for the service of Carl. And that is yours, and the microphone is here if you'd like to say a couple words.
All right. Good evening. My name is Justin Rhodes. I'm the youngest grandson of Carl and Bonnie Ferreira, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the city for this and know that I started visiting Poquoson in '96 from Kansas, where I lived, and I ended up moving to Hampton in 2006. And my grandfather loved this city. He, from Kiwanis to the yacht club, every summer we would take the tour all through the city and show everything. Trust me, I've been on the good side and the bad side of that man, and he loved Poquoson. He was the type of man, if he didn't feel like he was making a difference, he wouldn't participate. And he truly loved the city. He truly felt like he was making a difference, and they're actually moving. And they're from the West Coast in Hawaii, and this was home to him. This was his home, and he really loved it. So thank you, everybody.
We love him. Okay, and with that done, have opened the audience for visitors. And if there's anybody in chambers tonight that would like to speak on any subject, now is the time. I'll note that we have a public hearing on the budget in just another item or so. Seeing none, we'll move forward and ask for approval of the minutes.
Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes of the regular session of April 9th, 2012.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we approve the regular meeting of April 9th, 2012. Questions, comments? Okay, Judy, please.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Bernal.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Councilman Krieger.
Aye.
Councilwoman Crawford.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing. If you just left the work session, it'll be much of a repeat of what we just talked about. But the public hearing is on the proposed fiscal year 2012-2013 annual financial plan. This is the first reading. Council will not be taking action on this evening, but Randy, if you would like to lead the discussion, or how would you like to proceed?
Sure. And, staff can do a short presentation. Teresa, you want to do this? You want me to try it and you fill in? All right, thank you. In essence, this evening's budget public hearing is about our budget for next year. It's about how the city will operate, how we'll interact with the schools, and essentially, as we go into the fifth year of the recession, the budget in terms of the city's budget is very much like the one we're in now, meaning there are no significant new initiatives in the budget. We continue to work our way through the recession. I think we are making significant progress each year, but we're not through it yet, so there are no new initiatives in the budget. The one thing to draw to people's attention is that we were fortunate to be able to include in the recommended budget the amount of monies that the schools had requested from the local government, and enough to keep all of our employees employed and with the resources necessary to do their jobs. There were a few wrinkles in the budget, those wrinkles being state government generated, whether they were a requirement that we our employees begin to pay 5% of their retirement costs, while at the same time requiring the City Council to provide a 5% pay adjustment for employees, or whether it was significant new VRS rates. This budget deals with all of those things. An important feature of this budget is that we dealt with the structural imbalances that were in the budget, the things that had been the consequence of several years of recessionary management as we attempted to absorb, mitigate, and now plan our way out of the recession. And this budget implements that in all of our self-supporting funds. With the exception of the general fund, the amount of that structural deficit has been substantially reduced, and the amount of funding to the schools is remains and is increased by $160,000 of ongoing funding. To do that, the budget has several items in it that help make that possible. One is a fee increase for both our solid waste and our utilities funds to bring those self-supporting funds back into balance. In the case of the utility fund, that's also married with a debt refinancing and restructuring of utility debt that not only will help us pay our bills in 2013, but position us to pay our bills to include capital maintenance, capital replacement, and the consent order into the future. There is also fee increases for other things such as bulky waste pickup and landscape pickup. The philosophy behind that is that there's a balance between what the public good is and the private good, and we struck that balance in this recommended budget at 1/3 of the cost, average cost being borne by the homeowner, and 2/3 by the city at large. So there are fee increases there. There's also fee increases associated with the EMS revenue recovery, which is a program that you put in a few years ago, and to date we've not had one significant complaint about. And anyway, that's the budget in a nutshell. We can go into it in as much detail as you'd like. I would note two other things, that there are a few changes to tax rates in the budget. To highlight that, there is no proposed change to the real estate rate or to the regular personal property rate. The budget does contain a proposal to reduce the tax on boats, which is a special personal property tax, by 10%. And as if you were able to see the work session earlier, the council's given direction to prepare the final documents based on a 20% reduction. There is also in the budget a increase in the cigarette tax from 10 cents per pack to 25 cents per pack, and a meals tax from 5.5% to 6%. Those latter two increases going to provide ongoing funding support for schools. And with that, I think I hit the whole thing in 4 minutes.
I think you did.
Did I miss anything, Teresa?
Council, any comments before we open the public hearing? With that said, I'll open the public hearing. Does anybody would like to address council on the proposed budget for fiscal year 2013? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And council, any comments, or would you like to just proceed on through the meeting agenda?
I have two quick questions on the budget. We may not have the information here this evening, but I think most people will be surprised to know that we've had to rebate a certain amount of money to the state from what they sent us each year. Is that still in effect for this coming year?
Yes, sir, it is.
And it's approximately how much?
Teresa, top of your head, do you know how much it is?
43,000.
I'm just going to guess 45. For a while there, it looked like that amount was going to be reduced, but in the final budget bill, that amount was not reduced, and the net was pushed into the school support in the state. So it came out of our pot with ever really getting back into it, back into a big swirl, and ultimately back out to public education.
The other question, thank you. And the other question was, there was some early on discussion that road maintenance money might be reduced. Did that come about?
The
state.
CTB is still working on that. That's a decision that's in front of us. It's just not. It's not right at this moment. We will see that. It's a question of when and to what degree, but I don't believe it'll be in FY13.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, not to gloss over it, I touched on this point before at the scheduled work session, and I won't belabor it. But really, the lack of discussion by council concerning the budget is because council has been at this budget since June of last year. And we started with quite a challenge of a gap of about $2.2 million. We've, through what the staff has done and the good financial practices of the city, We were able to lower it to 800. As far as a gap, we have available funding to cover all of that, but the recent budget news and finalization has brought that number down somewhere, depending on where you are, around 500. And with that said, council has been aware of the ongoing budget challenge for the last year, or close to a year. And our engagement has made, I think, the public well aware of what we've been talking about. And so I'd say that the lack of discussion here this evening is because of the good job of staff in presenting. And I think Dr. Vernal summed it up best last time when we received the budget in April, and he went to the back and said, I was expecting to see April Fools because it was no tax increase and on the two big ones. And where we did increase taxes, that money dedicated to improvement of the schools to make up for the state shortfall. So that's the budget in a nutshell. No public comments tonight. And the fees, just so everybody is aware, the fee increases, the mild fee increases, as Randy talked about, give us long-term stability in those funds. But the other thing to note is that those fees have not increased in 6 years. And if you just look at your fuel costs, what they've done in 6 years, you will see that we are probably operating more efficiently even in those services than we were 6 years ago. So
just another comment along those lines, Gene. I'm glad that we're going to consider a 20% reduction in the boat tax rather than the 10%. And I want to follow that up with making certain that we have a work session somewhere between now and the start of the budget for the next fiscal year to see if this turns out to be a fiscally responsible thing to do, that we show a positive cash revenue as a result of this. And if that's the case, maybe we can reduce that even further. I would really like to see that.
Okay, fair enough. Any other comments of council? I mean, get on the soapbox here. Okay, with that said, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a new business item, a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Denby Construction. Randy?
Mr. Mayor, this contract with Denby Construction was, when originally awarded by me under my expenditure authority, small enough so that I could do that. It looks that we may go over that $30,000 threshold, so this is why it's here for your approval to essentially authorize me to sign an amended contract with an amount potentially above 30. Mark Boson is here from Public Works representing them. Mark, if you could just give us a minute or two and explain what this contract is and answer any questions council may have.
Council, thank you for having me. If y'all have any questions you'd like to ask me about the contract.
Could you tell them what the contract is for?
Oh, the contract's for concrete work being done in the city for repair work to curb and gutters, sidewalks, paved swells. It's also used for doing drainage improvements, such as we did over on Hopkins Court. Of course, emergency repairs during storm, Hurricane Irene, we lost several sections of sidewalk and curb over on Wythe Creek Road. We had to fix that since it was a hazard to the public. So basically, it's unforeseen expenses that we need to increase for this contract.
Basically, you put them on call.
Yes.
Right.
Do you have any idea how much over the 30,000 we may be talking about? Are we talking about doubling it, tripling it?
That I can't say. Most of the time, the work is emergency work. A lot of times, it's drainage improvements that need to be done right away. So I can't really tell you right offhand how much the increase would be.
Randy, you got it?
It's a unit cost sort of contract, so if we need it, we want to be able to get it, but there is and as Mark said, it's typically for emergency situations. But your purchasing policy only allows me to sign contracts up to $30,000. So we'd have to have an emergency and not be able to proceed. This is budgeted stuff that deals typically with emergencies. That's the best I can answer the question.
But having bid on this when I was working with Pembroke, they are specific unit prices with specific definitions as to what the work which work has to be performed. So, it just depends on what kind of emergency takes place as to how much it'll cost. But I can tell you, bidding this thing in 2010, they've got some good unit prices.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, consideration by council?
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an amended contract with
Second.
Denby Construction Company, excuse me.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we allow the city manager to enter into an execution of contract with Denby Construction slightly above the $30,000 that he's allowed to. All right, any questions or comments? Seeing none, Judy, please.
Councilman Krieger.
Aye.
Councilwoman Crawford.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Vernal.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay. Comments of the city manager?
I have only two this evening, Mr. Mayor. First is to express my appreciation to members of council and Public Works and utility staff, garage staff, for hosting the ribbon cutting event at the new Public Works building last week. Members of council, if for any reason you were unable to attend, know that you've got an open invitation and they would love the excuse to go take you on a tour. So please know that that they would love to do that. And also, if I could, she doesn't know I'm going to do this and she's not even looking at me right now, but Evie, could you come up and just provide a little bit of information for the public on the project you're doing this weekend? I thought you would.
You look thrilled.
Headlights, no notes, I'm sorry. But we're very, very excited. The whole region was selected by Keep America Beautiful, and I mean the Hampton Road region, to participate in their kickoff days, or their action days as they're calling them. Their action days as they're calling them, for each area within the Hampton Roads is getting together and having their cleanups this particular Saturday, Friday and Saturday, for some areas. We are having Keep America Beautiful Ballon style. We're working on the two of the landing points that are associated with our Blueways, which is the end of Poquoson Avenue and the end of Messick Road. We're going to have volunteers, and we've had wonderful response. We will have volunteers coming out, helping to clean up those areas, helping us to just spiffy up for the spring. We also have two civic groups that have jumped feet first into helping us with two park areas. The South Lawson Park is getting trees, and the little pocket park on Messick Road will be getting a complete beautification. We had plans on working somewhat on that on Friday with the USS Truman volunteers. However, the Navy stepped in and said, well, we need you first. So we're not going to do that part on Friday. They will be coming back at a later date to help us out with a few items there. The whole time frame is going to be this Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon. And we certainly would love anybody who wishes to come out and join us. We think it's going to be a very nice time. We do plan to have gloves, bags, trash picker-uppers. We ask that you bring your Bubba boots and your work gloves. Thank you very much,
All right,
Council.
thank you.
Thank you, Evie. Evie and Budina both are be commended. In this city, as you heard with the school board earlier today, they're really not hard and fast job descriptions. We're a community, and when something needs to be done, there's always one or more people that will step forward. So this is a significant other duty as assigned that both ladies have willingly taken on, and they've really done a great job with it. So I would encourage everyone to come out and be part of it. And if you want to be part of it, 868-3000, give us a call, and we'll tell you how to do that. Thank you.
Comments of the city council. Dr. Vernal.
Well, I already asked the two questions I had, but I don't know whether this is sort of a mixed blessing that we didn't have people at the public hearing tonight on the budget. It certainly was advertised. People I've talked with, I think, were very pleased about the tax rate, and that was a big concern that many people had. So I hope that everybody understands the needs for the fee increases and they'll be put to proper use to balance the accounts that have long been out of balance. But I said I think it's a mixed blessing that people didn't come, but I hope that means everybody is very acceptance of what we have.
Okay. Buddy?
Just like to remind everybody that the food bank will be here again tomorrow from 10 to 2 at the old City Hall. It's being hosted this month by Victory Christian Church. I want to thank them for stepping up to the plate to do that. And by hosting, I mean they provide the people to set up the tables, to unload the truck, stack the food in its appropriate place, and then fill the bags and carry the bags to the people's cars. So it is a little bit of work, but it's very rewarding, and everybody that's eligible, please come out and take advantage of it. In May, it'll be hosted by the Kiwanis Club. May is the last month that we have volunteers, so any service clubs that would like to help us out, please call us and volunteer your services. It's a very worthwhile project, and the number of people we serve is growing each month, and they're very appreciative of it, and we're very glad that the food bank has chosen to do this.
Thank you. Frank?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight? Bud?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kevin Wynn for his presentation about the rezoning and conditional use of the property there on Alphas Road. And I'd like to thank Jennifer Parrish and the school board for their excellent work on the school budget, and Davenport and Company for their excellent presentation relative to the city's finances. And to include in that, okay, Randy, Teresa, and the rest of the staff for their work that supported all of that. And one other comment, and this is addressed to the taxpayers of the city. Randy noted during the work session that we've returned to surplus for the past 2 or 3 years, which stood as part of the basis for our excellent credit rating. It needs to be viewed as a different way. This is unusual in government in that what it really means is that you not only got money back, it's called reduced government spending rather than increased taxes. And in these days of really poor economic times, we're having a city government that's reducing spending and not costing you more in taxes. And Randy and the city staff is to be commended greatly for that.
Well said. Tracy?
Thank you. Some of them have been mentioned, and I just wanted to extend my appreciation that the Ferreira family came out. We miss Carl at every Kiwanis meeting. I also wanted to commend or instruct Randy if you would be willing to look into the Green Challenge from the Virginia Municipal League. It was something we received in some communication from them, and I can forward it to you. But if you would look into that, as well as some reward-based recycling programs that's supposed to be fee-free. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I'd like you to look into that, please. Okay. And finally, our condolences go out to the family of Miss Michelle from the library.
Thank you. Gary?
Nothing addition.
Okay. Another thing I've got is a couple public service announcements. Let me just do those tonight. Ladies Auxiliaries has a fish fry this Saturday down at the fire station. Obviously, there's nothing better in the city of Poquoson than that event. Which one? It's fire station number 1. Well, that's where they all are. But thank you for pointing that out, Randy. Anyway, and I will say that the dedication of the new Public Works and Storage building is a replacement of the one that's served since the city began operations back in 1952. So we definitely got our money's worth out of the old one, and the new one is quite an accomplishment, and we appreciate everything that the Public Works folks do. I think I said it best, that building doesn't really mean anything without those employees that do it, and they're the face of the city of Poquoson to a lot of people, and they are a great staff, do great things, and always with a smile and a kind word to be said. I think that covers everything, so no, just a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. Made and seconded, we adjourn. And Judy, please.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Councilman Bernal.
Aye.
Councilman Krieger.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilwoman Crawford.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
We are adjourned.